If this sounds like I'm reading a script, it's because I am. Because I had to sit here and tell you all of this off the top of my head. I don't think I could do it, and it would just end up making me feel bad or worse. Over the years, and this man was the love of my life, I suspected, no felt, there was a whole reality show going on behind my back. A quick note before I go on is I finally gave my shadow person a name, and if you remember the cartoon, The Real Ghostbusters, there was an episode about this evil ghost called What. That was his name. What. What. So I called this shadow person What. So, yes, a reality show that's since been referred to as a Truman Show. However, there was no Truman to speak of. So I decided to set up a shrine complete with offerings to plead with Papa Legba to find the truth. Papa Legba is not a shadow person. What is most definitely a shadow person? Anyway, Papa Legba helped me out, and piece by piece, I got to watch an episode of dumb shit going on behind Kay's back. I left at my I left at my parents' house. I went to my GP's office and had blood work done. My blood work came back positive for near complete liver failure. At this time, I feel I need to add that Papa Legba and the shadow person I call What are two separate entities. I had not been at my parents' house 24 hours when I noticed a dark shadow in the corner. I asked my nanny if she could see What standing in the corner that I pointed out. Immediate validation followed because my nanny said, "Oh, you mean that dark shadow over there in the corner?" Finally, evidence that I was not going crazy. So once Watt was acknowledged, he became quite the roommate. I dozed off one night, and shortly later I was startled awake as Watt open-handed slapped the mattress. I sat up in the bed and looked toward Nanny's closet, and there stood Watt. He was bent forward, going to a box or digging around in blankets for something. What the hell could he have been looking for? Since Watt appears in times of deep distress, regardless of what is causing me pain, mentally or physically, and usually around family members, could he be an ancestor? He's manifested around other people, but there also was a family element present, and obviously he does not care if the family member can see him or not. One note on the goings on before I left the apartment in 2021, there was a sighting pointed out to me by a female friend who spoke the truth, I feel, when she spoke out on any matter. Her name won't be mentioned because I do still care about her. She said she saw a tall man with a long coat and hat walking across the patio in front of my front door at the apartment. A shadow figure? I don't think so, but I do think I know who it was, and he did do the favor that I asked. So it appears I'm up to date on my story. I find making these extremely therapeutic, and if they are interesting to you, please subscribe and click the like button. They say the truth is stranger than fiction, and it definitely is at 3:33 a.m. This is Shell-Stansberry signing off.